Welcome, adventurer. I'm DirkPickle, and this is my tavern. Please find a seat and relax by the fire. And listen in, for we all have our tales to tell. Today's story is titled, Last Night I Was That Player and I Feel Awful About It. I messed up majorly last night, and no matter how I spin it, it's my fault. I own up to it, with the benefit of hindsight being 2020. I allowed my anxiety and frustration with failure to make me act out. I have a challenging but fair and kind GM. He likes to give us challenges, and I relish them. Even when the difficult puzzles and riddles make me feel stupid, even when I can't infer all the intricacies of his plots, and even when I prove to be virtually useless in combat. The party consists of me, the bard, the monk, the sorcerer, the warlock, and the barbarian. We're all level 7. We're in a short tournament arc where we fight in this magical arena. When you drop to 0 HP, you're ported out into the bleachers, at full health and with all your non-item resources restored. We're competing for gold and glory. It should have been fun. First few matches were difficult and challenging, but hey, we won. And then last night came. I thought I'd be able to be useful as I rolled a nat 20 for my initiative. I thought it would let me get the first move in and shut down some opponents. I was wrong. I got a hypnotic pattern off, caught 2 out of 4 targets as they'd spread out. Next turn, their cleric engages the barbarian. Next turn, their ranged fighter takes a pot shot at me with a bow, and my concentration is gone, because I have no con modifier, and the luck of someone who broke a dozen mirrors and got spit on by God himself. The next round comes. I attempt to interrupt the cleric's spiritual weapon so the barb isn't taking damage from 2 sides. The enemy's mind member counterspells my counterspell. I take this as a sign I'm meant to engage with them. I'm the bard. I'm supposed to be the mind screwer of my team, right? Can't let the enemy screw with my team. Then the NPC starts to mess with the barbarian's mind, and I'm powerless. I try to get them away from the barbarian with dissonant whispers and fail. Not even doing any substantial damage because my roll is that bad. To make a long story short, I kept failing everything I tried. Polymorph the ranged NPC into a rat to shut them down? Nah, they make a save. Attempt a phantasmal force on them to keep them busy? They succeed their investigation check the immediate next turn, because apparently being surrounded by a tornado of fire is just a reason to try and make fire arrows by poking the tornado with an arrow to see if it'll ignite. Everything I tried failed spectacularly. Meanwhile, we're losing team members, but the barbarian and warlock managed to take down some of their people, and I'm stuck muting myself on Discord, because by this point I'm just crying quietly at my embarrassing incompetence. I'm reduced from the flashy funny bard to an angry little shit. Even my attempt to salvage my bard standing with the crowd went sour. I tried to roleplay my bard as getting fed up with the little mind-screwy gobshite of the enemy team, whipping out his rapier and going hell for leather on them with his pathetic damage. I did score the kill and I thought, okay, this is looking up, I can make this look good. But then the GM said that the NPC looked at my bard and did the next time gesture of pointing 2 fingers at his eyes and then to mine. I should have been happy about that. I got under their skin, but I wasn't. It didn't feel like I got under the NPC's skin, but they absolutely had. I wanted them to be scared of my bard's wrath and to never want to fight him again. No, I couldn't even have that. The game came to a halt over my mounting frustration and anxiety. My stress was off the charts and I couldn't keep it to myself. I tried to argue that Phantasmal Force should have disabled the ranger for more than 1 turn, because who the hell doesn't panic when surrounded by a tornado of fire? Trained soldiers don't, and this is what these guys are, says the barbarian, and then launches into a lecture about having known people who've served with PTSD and what have you. I felt like a browbeat, like bullying. My own team member couldn't take my side. It hurt at the time, and I snapped about it. The session ended early. My bullshit plus some damned repeated power failures due to weather held it all up. We left off with 2 NPCs standing, a druid with some wild shapes left, and the hated ranged fighter on the enemy side, and just me and the warlock on our side, both of us out of spells and out of options. Everyone's mood was horrible, and it was all my fault. I wasn't having fun due to my repeated failures. I'd been ungrateful and snarky about my ruined moment, and I brought everyone down. The GM, whom I valued greatly as a friend, was upset, despite his best efforts to show that he wasn't. He called a hiatus to the game. He He's got serious doubts about how he runs it and straight up said he wasn't having fun running the combats. And I know that's because I couldn't keep my whiny mouth shut. In retrospect, I could have avoided this. I should have taken my anti-stress supplements. I should have kept myself on mute constantly when it wasn't my turn. And I shouldn't have tried to be clever. I should have just kept spamming dissonant whispers to try and cause OP attacks while doing some chip damage and saved all my third and up slots for counterspell. But it's too late now. I may have potentially ruined the game for everyone and I can't take that back. I'm grappling with severe backlash from my social anxiety, my guilt and the stress it's all causing me. I woke up with a stress headache and I can't seem to stop crying over it. I've messaged everyone in our server, but I don't seem to be getting anything beyond the GM calling a pause on the game for 2 weeks for everyone to cool off. So yeah. Cautionary tale for all the stress-prone folks playing D&D. Don't be me. Be better. And there we have it. A story of somebody identifying themselves as being that guy. I think it takes a great deal of strength to be able to identify yourself as the problem player in a situation. And I think we can all safely say, as anybody who've read these sorts of stories, that a lot of people that actually are that guy or that player tend to not really know what they're doing and just go from ruining one game to the next. Here we have a player where the stress and bad luck just got to them, I'd say. And frankly, we've all had moments in the game where the dives aren't going your way and your character's not doing anything you want them to be able to do and you're just struggling to find the fun in it. And in that situation, I think it's fair to then decide that you need a break and take that break. We can't all be perfect players all the time. And identifying yourself as somebody that may have damaged the game is a massive leap. And frankly, reaching out and apologising to the group is the best you can do in this situation. It's already happened, and I appreciate that as somebody with social anxiety, it's the sort of thing that you'll carry with you for a long time. And I just hope that your group accept the apology and everything can get back on track. And just remember that at any point, if you feel you need a break, it's okay to take a break. After all, Dungeons & Dragons is a hobby, and it's the sort of hobby that you should enjoy. And if at any point you're not enjoying it, mess around with things. Take a break. Perhaps make some new characters. Or try and write your own campaign. Or just do something creative that doesn't require the rolling of die and the ability for things to fail. And I think it's really important to understand that at the end of the day, all players have bad days and good days, and your bad days aren't a pure reflection of who you are as a player. Just as much as you should never hold yourself to the pinnacle of what your good days are, you should never expect yourself to always be perfect and always be great. And remember that ultimately, the game is just a group of friends sitting down to have fun. So what do you think? Have you ever been that guy and realised? Did you realise during the game or after? And what were the repercussions, if any? Did any of you ever accidentally destroy a D&D game? I look forward to hearing from you. And remember, the tavern is always open. Good night.